Today I'm going to be speedrunning Limbo. Now, this game is really difficult to speedrun, so hopefully things go well. I'm hopefully not going to need to reset, and I already need to reset because I actually forgot to put the timer on. Let's go, gamers! Basically, we're going to wake up in this place called Limbo. Limbo is the place between, I think, life and death. It's like between heaven and hell. Don't ask me why some random boy is stuck down here. I have no idea. But basically, we're going to go through a long cutscene. We're going to try and get up. As soon as we get up, we're going to start running. The main tactic that we're going to be using throughout this speedrun is this sprint jump. Basically, for the sprint jump, you're going to want to take a few steps and then jump. You don't want to be jumping one after the other because it's not as fast, but you essentially want to be doing as many of these sprint jumps as humanly possible. So we're just going to open that spot up, and then we're going to jump up here, and now we're going to jump on this rope thing. Now, I have done a few practice runs, but I wasn't low enough, so we're not going to do that. We're gonna try that again. I have to sneeze. Oh, Jesus. We're gonna jump down here in just a second, just to make sure we don't completely break our ankles. So we're gonna keep running like this, and we're gonna hop into this boat, and we're gonna chill. So yeah, running is a very useful tactic in this game. You want to be sprint jumping for as long as you can. However, there are some instances where you just can't do it. You're gonna have to time some of your running correctly. So once we get through this lake, we're going to have to jump out of the boat immediately, and we're going to pull the boat up just so we can get enough height so that we can climb onto this ledge, as so, like that, and like that. So we're going to hop on this vine, and then we're going to jump over to this rope up here, and then we're going to climb up to this cliffside. So we have to go this way. We're going to keep sprint jumping as much as possible, just trying to gain as much momentum as possible. Now, be careful there. There's some traps there, and we want to jump over those. The reason I'm doing slight backup is because I don't want to jump into the traps, and I want to get as much distance traveling with my jump as possible. So we're going to put this trap over here where this meat corpse thing is, and we're just going to let it snap on that, and then we're going to jump over to the cliff. So far so good. We're going to keep jumping around until we get to our next puzzle. So yeah, this is basically a puzzle game. It's not too difficult. Definitely would recommend going through it a first time. Now we're going to go back so to make sure we don't get hit by that boulder. And then we're just going to climb past it, and we're going to come up here. Now what we need to do is we need to come down here, keep sprint jumping as much as possible. We're coming to a spot where there's a box that is going to be in a lake. Now, you can do a skip over this. However, in the 3 hours that I attempted that skip, I didn't get it once. So yeah, we're just gonna play it safe. Go up here, and I missed, but that's okay. We'll just oh my goodness, we'll just go for this. Okay, let's swing a little bit more so that we don't mess it up next time. Perfect. Okay. This definitely does add a lot more time than doing the skip way. However, I could not figure out how to do the box skip for the life of me, so we're just going to have to do the normal way. Now we drop down here. Just be careful not to die, because you can, again, die from fall damage. We're going to push this log over the lake so that we can float across, and we should be fine. So far, there hasn't been a lot of time loss. However, I feel like over time, this is going to become more and more of a time loss, because there are quite a few skips in this that are very difficult. However, this is not one of them. So we basically have to lure the legs out of this spider, and he's going to hit the ground a few times, and we just have to lure him out again once more. Okay, so now that he's going up to hit the ground, he actually knocks down this bear trap over here. So we're going to pull this bear trap along. Now we want to get that spider leg to try and hit us, but we're going to get the bear trap on him. The second one, he's also going to want to hit us, but we want to get out of the way of the third one and get that final leg. And then once we've done that, we can move past immediately, even though the animation of the spider is still going. It's still kind of scary to do that. So we're going to try and slide down here, and now we're going to keep going. A lot of this is just a walking simulator, unfortunately, but I still like the scenery that is involved with it all. So we're going to get wrapped up by the spider in this scene. Unfortunately, we can't go any faster or further than this spot here, so we're just gonna have to move like this. Yeah, now there is a guy up there. Sorry man, you are so getting eaten by the spider. So now we have to say hi to the spider. This is the spider. What are we calling the spider? Let's call him Jeremy. He looks like a Jeremy. Jeremy, please. Well, that's inconvenient. So looks like we're gonna have to shake our way out of it, so let's just wriggle as much as we possibly can. Come on, let me escape. Okay, and now we want to bounce our way out of that spider den. I'm pretty surprised the spider didn't just like, you know, see me do that. I was wriggling like a maniac there. You would think he'd like poison me or something. But thank goodness he is not poisoning me. And jump over that little ledge there. I have died there a few times. It's not the best. Not that I think dying in any way would be very pretty. So we need to push this boulder over to this little branch here and then wait for it to come down and then jump up over that. Now we got a big boulder here and we just have to wait and wait and wait. So over time, this boulder is just going to move along the ground. We'll chill. We'll be fine. Perfectly reasonable for the spider to come at this very moment. It's a little bit inconvenient that this spider is starting to come after us, but you know, it happens. Please move away from me. I don't want to be involved with you. Okay, so now we're going to jump over that ledge and we're going to hop down. Hopefully we get a good slide. Ooh, bad slide. Sometimes the momentum actually throws you way further, but that's okay. Because it's pretty much the same thing. We just gotta keep moving. We still got a little bit of spider web down here. That's unfortunate. Now, we can do a skip here, but I've never been able to pull it off, so let's see if we can do it. No. Oh, I missed it. That's unfortunate. At least we didn't die there. So we're just gonna swing this way and then we're gonna come up here. Now we have to get through this spot with a bunch of trees. Some of these trees are gonna start moving in a second, but it's not too difficult. Again, this is still like the beginning of the game, so we still got some easy parts left. Just have to make sure you get out of the way of that. All right, this one's gonna lean over. Gonna be kind of nasty, but you know, not too bad. Then this boulder's gonna come swinging down. Speed up the process, you just slide down and jump over it while it's coming through. And I forgot to sprint jump there a little bit. Whoops. Always remember to sprint jump, kids. It's very healthy. Now that spider leg is going to come after us, but that's okay because it's a fake one. So it lifts up immediately and then we can just go through. And now we're going to start chasing these kids for the rest of the journey. Now this is one of the hardest skips in the game, so hopefully I get it first try. So let's have some concentration. Here we go. Come on. Nope, and I died. I'm going to give myself 3 attempts at this, and then if I still fail, I will either reset or just let it do it normally. And that's the second life. Unfortunate. I'm hoping that I don't have to reset this one. I'd be very sad if I did. And I'm gonna have to reset. Come on, one more. God damn it. Okay, I'll come back to it. Okay, we're back. Hopefully this one works. Yay! There we go. That's much better. Oh my goodness. Probably lost more time than I would have just doing it normally. But that was on my 3rd attempt for my 2nd try. So hopefully that's fine. So anyways, you have to climb up these ladders and then you have to come over this way. So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to 100% dodge these traps first try as demonstrated. I'm an absolute ninja. And now we're going to climb up the rope when it stops deciding to swing everywhere. So we're going to hop up here. Now we have to go this way. We're just going to chill. We have to keep wandering this way and then all of a sudden the spider's going to come out of nowhere. No! So we have to push this log into the lake and quickly run away from the spider. However, eventually we're going to get to this tree branch that is sitting on sort of like an axis point like this. We basically have to wait for the spider to catch up to us and lift up the log so that we can actually jump to that ledge. So hopefully it comes now. That is the first time I've messed that up in all of these speedruns. Let's try again, shall we? This time I'm going to stand on the very edge so we don't mess it up, and let's go! Perfect. Now we have to push over this log here. It looks really weird. I don't know how I could push that over, but I guess I can. I have the strength for it. And we're going to have to snap this stick in half. Bonk. Now we have to come down here. The spider's gonna look like it's coming up to get us and it's gonna be really scary, but the boulder knocks it down and we're completely fine. So we're gonna keep going on our merry adventure, acting like nothing ever happened to that spider or myself, with the time of 11:30 so far. So this is actually a pretty good run. Well, at least for my standards. Okay, so now what we have to do is we have to come down this way. We're gonna see the spider again very soon, so don't feel like you're missing him. He's going to be right here and in like 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. There he is. Okay, so he's only got one leg left. Now he's going to try and skewer us, but we just have to jump out the way, and then we have to pull his leg off. It's really gruesome. Please look away. Ugh, ew, disgusting. And we're gonna have to roll his corpse over to create a platform. Now, one thing that bothers me the most and made me uncomfortable when I first played this game was the fact that the spider is still technically alive. And are we not just sticking our hands in its mouth when it like comes over? But okay, I don't know. Either way, it's dead now. So now we're gonna come this way, and you see that box above our heads? We're gonna need to get that. So the way to get that is by coming up this ladder. And we need to come around this way. We're gonna have to jump onto this box here, and then we're gonna have to jump onto this box here, and just jump on top of the box, and it'll come down. And it's gonna slide down along with us, and we're gonna push it over to the platform so that we can get up on this ledge. So we're gonna keep going deep down into the depths, and this is sort of where it changes scene. So I'm gonna give one shot to this skip, and we'll see if it works. Nope, it did not work, so we're gonna just do it the normal way. We just have to wait this one out. Basically, you want to jump from that little pebble there, and you want to get enough momentum to jump the other way to cut this cutscene down a little bit, but otherwise, you're gonna have to do it the normal way, which is just how I did it. So that'll be fine. It's a little bit of a time loss, but I'm not too concerned considering it's like a 50-minute run. And we're just going to push this body down into that trap. Bonk. It's okay, he was dead anyway. So now we get introduced to these white grub things and those black things that eat the white things. Yes, very descriptive, I know. But basically, these grubs are something that control our mind, and we're gonna need to be concerned about that because they only make you go in one direction. Okay, so now we're gonna have to jump over this pit, and we're gonna get attacked by these guys. So we have to run along, and we have to jump over this button here, and then we have to jump onto this button here. That first button was one you had to stand on, and the second one was one that you didn't have to stand on, so you have to basically get the right order. So we're gonna hop down here, and we're gonna come up to this minecart thing. We have to pull out this trolley, and then we have to bring it out a little bit. I don't think that was enough. That is enough. Now, we have these saws over here, and we're going to have to pull on this rope. Make sure that you're pretty close down to the ground as you're doing this. Now I have to come down this way, and we're gonna have to push the trolley as fast as we can while also climbing on it so that we can grab onto the trolley. Ooh, lucky. So I'm gonna start swinging on this rope here so that I can grab onto the next one to pull that one, to make sure that I can... What? I swear to you, that has never happened to me before. As it's coming down, we're gonna come over this way, and we're gonna bounce through. Perfect. So now we're gonna come down here, and we're gonna get into sort of like a water area. One of my personal favorite areas, honestly. But first, we get introduced to the grub, which brings us in the opposite direction of where we were currently heading. But it's okay because sunlight makes you go in the direction you wanted to go in the first place. Mighty convenient. What I want to do is I want to feed those creatures this grub. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna head over to the light, which makes us go the other direction, and we're gonna push the box this way just so we can bounce up and have those creatures eat the grub. I don't know what those creatures are. The grub eaters, I guess. We're going to keep going this way, and now we're coming towards this giant machine. You'll find out what it does in a second. So what we're going to do is that guy's going to scurry away from us, and we're going to climb up this hill over here, and we're going to keep running forward because we want to be dragging a log in this hole here. So you see the log here. We're going to drag this over this way, and we're going to make sure we can jump back. So we're going to keep the log over there because that's going to be useful later. And now what we want to do is we want to get that little guy out of his hidey place. So we're going to jump up here, and we're going to jump on the platform so that he feels lured out to eat the food. And we're going to scare him over this way. So basically he's going to go into that little hamster wheel. And now we're going to... And it's basically going to cause the place to rain. I don't know why it causes the place to rain, but it does. So we're just going to roll with it. So let's go up here. Now we're going to go over this way. And this pipe is going to be leaking. So we're just going to pull on the chain to get that hole filled. Fill the hole fillers. Now we're going to try swinging that way. Once we go on the next swing, here we go. And we're going to hop on this wood. And we're going to hop over the other side. Now we don't have to pay attention to that spot at all. And we just have to keep moving. So now the scenery, it's sort of the atmosphere, even though it is still black and white, it kind of feels like it's changed a little bit. So what we need to do is we need to come up here, and we need to go into this pipe. We need to slide all the way down on this pipe, and we need to push this box. The idea of the box is to get it up on this platform over here. So see how there's a little gap in the platform? Hold this lever, and now we want to cause the flood. We want to open up this platform for the box to come through, and we want to stand on the box so that we can reach up to that ladder. Now we just have to keep coming. Keep on coming. Keep on keeping on. And now we jump because the water is going to keep rising and we have to be ready for it. So we got this box over here. We're going to climb up it. Now this box does not float nearly as well as the previous one, so we're going to have to be a little bit careful with it. And as soon as the water hits, we can climb up. Perfect. So the water's going to start leaking out over this spot over here. But what we have to do is we have to be ready for this balloon to explode. So let's hold this platform open, wait for the water to rise up fully, and then quickly close it. Now we can push this ball over that way. While it's going to the right, we have to travel to the left and climb up this ladder. Now what we're going to do is we're going to stand on this platform and wait for the water to rise even more. Now we can climb up the ledge. This puzzle is a little bit tricky. You sort of just have to eye it. Basically, you want the spot on the left to be a little bit less water than the right, and there will be about right. And then we should be able to climb up. If not, I'm gonna drown, but that should be okay. Yes, it is. And we're gonna bring this box down. And now we float to the other side, and that's perfect. So this spot is going to have another grub in it. As you can see, it's swinging in the air. We're just going to wait for it to swing the other way so that we can bring this box back, because we want to be able to climb into that light area that's just above us. So the grub goes into our brain like a little brain worm, and now we're going to have to come over this way and use the sunlight. Perfect. Now we have to climb up here, wait for the trash to fall, and now we come over this way and come down here, and now our pipes are going to start breaking. So what happens when the pipes break is the water starts rising once again, but this time we got a brainworm on us, so we need to get that off real quick. So we're going to climb up this ladder, and we're going to hop up the box again, and we're going to get blasted by sunlight. So now essentially we are just in a waiting game. We basically just have to wait for the water to rise. And there's our pipe waiting for us. We just have to wait a little bit longer. We just want to make sure that we do not die when we jump over. Perfect. And now we're going to have our little guys eaten. So we're going to climb up this ladder here, and then we're going to come out into like a sprawling city area. It's really cool. It's like the City of Tears, except it's miserable. Oh wait, City of Tears was pretty miserable too, I guess. And we're going to jump over this way, hopefully not fall down that hole, which could be very terrible. And we're going to slide down here and make sure we do not fall off. This is personally my favorite area of the entire game, the city. So what we're going to do is we're going to bounce over this way. We just have to not get electrocuted. Now the O is going to fall down, but we're just going to slide down the opposite side. The rope is going to fling everywhere, but we're just going to wait for it. And we're going to turn the power off using this. And just like that, the place is a little bit more settled now. So what we're going to do is we're going to crawl back up this pipe over here, and we're going to bounce back on the H, and we're going to cross through all of these letters. So the T before was full of electricity, and now we can climb over it. Now this L is going to fall a little bit, and this arrow, we have to make sure we cross over before it falls down. Make sure you do not fall with the arrow, otherwise you will be doomed. So now we're going to come across this shattering glass. So what we have to do is we have to go over to the other side. It's going to crack, but it's not going to be enough to fall through it just yet, because we have to bring this little ladder over here with us. So the ladder's going to come around, it's going to swing over, and we're going to break through the glass, and we're going to bounce on these two platforms. And we're going to hop on this rope so that we can come down and bounce to the left. The reason we want to come to the left is because we want to destroy this little bucket spot with this wood plank. Very loud bang, because we're about to get brainwormed again. Hello, Grubby. Brainworm me. Perfect. Now we're going to come over this way. And we're going to have all the sunlight on us. It's going to be not the best for the worm, but that's okay, because I do not like the worm. It's controlling my movements, and I don't like that. So I'm going to tell you right now, remember that box. That box is very important. So we're going to come down to this spot here. Basically, we're going to keep running down these platforms. Here's 1, and here's 2, and here's 3. All right, pretty much what we have to do now is we have to hit this button, and we have to wait, because we do not want this sword to touch us, and that box is the only lifeline we have. So very glad that we got rid of it, and now we let those guys eat our little grub, and now we have full body movement. So we just bounce over the saw again, and now we can move away from this area. Yep, that spot is very dangerous. So what we're going to do on this platform here is we're going to keep distributing our weight to each side. So we're going to lean on this side. Now we're going to quickly hop over to this side, and as you can see, it's starting to gain a little bit of momentum. So what we want to do is we want to hop over to this side again. This is where I would jump, but I have died multiple times here, so I'm just going to do one more loop to make sure that we're okay. And now we should be okay. Yep, perfect. So we're going to pull this platform towards us, and then we're going to jump over this way as we cross by. As that platform is moving across, we just have to use the momentum to jump over. It's not too hard. So now we're coming up to these elevators. This is their new feature, so we have to start working with it. So we're going to use this box to bring it over here, and we're going to use this, and we're going to pull the box along with us. It is slightly finicky, but that's okay, because all we have to do is we have to bring that across. And now we just have to use this box to bring it across as well. Now we want to bring the box to around this spot over here, and we want to pull this lever because there is going to be a rope that comes down. And basically, we want to hop on it before it goes up. And there we go. So now we're going to swing back and forth a little bit. And just as we reach the height of our 6th swing, we just come over like this. So this one is a little bit complicated. Basically, we want to pull this lever first and then wait a little bit. And we want to pull the second one, and hopefully we didn't get the timing wrong, otherwise we'd be in a lot of trouble. So we want to bring this box over this way, and because the saw is coming towards us, we want to jump over to that ledge before the saw breaks those boxes. Otherwise, we would be grinded to a pulp, and let me tell you, that would be bad. So now we have a choice between doing the normal route or going to the dark route. I'd choose the normal route. Even though it's longer, I do not know the dark route, and so I'm not going to be able to do it. So with this guy here, there's a little bug. We're going to want to move closer to him every time he looks away from us, and we're just going to like poker face, and now I want to grab onto him. He's going to try and shake us off, but you know, we are way too powerful. Look at our upper body strength. Look at that. We are ragdolling. What the heck? Thanks for your leg. Now that we've taken his legs, poor guy, we're going to want to come over to this machine here. So there can be a skip in this spot. However, I've failed it multiple times, so we'll just have to see how it goes. So what you want to do is you want to bring the box over about here. Then you want to jump up this ladder. So this is the normal process so far. So stay with me. Now we want to pull this ledge out this way, and we want to pull it back so that it connects, because we're going to need it, because we're going to switch this lever over here. Going to bring this wheel out. Now we want to pull the ledge to make sure the wheel stays on it. Oh no. Perfect, perfect. Now we just have to bring that wheel over. Not too bad, not too shabby. So now we don't want to break our ankles as we fall. Perfect. How we normally do this is we usually have to like bring the wheel up and go around and push the box out of the door. But we can open the door like this, and then quickly, if we can... Okay, it appears we died. There we go, and we managed to push it out. So a little bit of a skip there, we just saves us time to have to go all the way around and push out, and it becomes a pain if we have to do that. So good little skip, but we didn't get a first try, unfortunately. So overall, probably a little bit slower than how we would have done normally, because sometimes those things happen. So what we need to do now is we need to climb up this way, and we need to get the box from this platform out here. So we're going to quickly bring that over here, and we're going to push that onto the cog. And now we're going to go down with it, because that's what I want to do with it. So we're going to bring them over here. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go past this button, because even though there's a platform, we have to wait for this platform to go, and then we push our little box onto it, and then we're going to jump over this button here. And now we want to collect this box over here. Now because that box is on the button, we can just safely go up here and not have to worry too much. Alright, so now we're going to pull on this chain, going to yank it over here. And now we're going to move the chain over this way. And we're just going to wait, and then we're going to grab onto it at the last second, like sort of like Indiana Jones. And now we just have to come over this way and come down here and push the cog into the cog wheel. So we're going to wait for this wood to come and drop down as demonstrated. bonk. And we're going to do our best to climb. Ah, we missed it. That's okay. We'll just take the next one. So over on this spot here, you can do a trick where you open the door and you can quickly climb up the ladder. However, I have never been able to do it once, so I'm not even going to bother. I'm just going to save time by doing it the normal way and just try to do it as fast as I possibly can. It is always okay to do it normally. So we're going to climb up this way. Hopefully we can make it. Yes, we can. And we're going to open up that door and we're going to climb up this ladder and we're going to run through. So on the next one, we're going to have to turn this machine this way and we're going to bring this box back quickly just so we can jump on the chain. Now you can do this without the box. However, that's what happens when you do it without the box. Goodness, I love the controls of this game. Do you hear that? That's the voice of my sarcasm. So we're just going to wait for this box to place below us because we have nothing better to do. Come on, box. Come on. All right, there we go. That's perfect. So we're going to come along this spot here and we're basically going to be coming into this saw, but we can swing at the last second and escape it. So far, so good. This spot here is pretty dangerous because that boulder is going to come after us. So we're going to rotate the entire map to the right, which is kind of crazy when you think about it. Why is this place rotating? How is this place rotating? Who designed it like this? Kind of nuts when you think about it. Also, the background music, very nice. We're going to use that box to climb up this ledge because if we didn't, we would have been crushed by the boulder and that would have been terrible. So we're going to bounce along this way. Now what we have to do is we have to find our sister. Oh my goodness, my sister? Whoa, that's crazy. Please come back. Oh no. Oh, I've been wormed. All right, so now we have to find some light to get our little worm friend. So we're going to wander back here. There's going to be a broken light and we're just going to roast our little friend with it. There is some very tedious backtracking in this game. We're going to climb on these conveyor belts here, which is kind of insane. Hopefully we do not get crushed by them. So with this one, you actually want to hang on to the side of it as it's going up so that we can climb immediately as soon as it starts coming down, so that we can bounce back here. Now we want to climb this box here, and what we want to do is we want to climb up here and have our little guys eat that grub so that we're no longer bothered by it. Now basically what we want to do is we want to hang out on the right side and climb up this cog. So there's a ladder up here, so we're going to use that to climb up. And now what we want to do is we want to turn this cog. Now I'm going to turn it at around about here and start climbing, because we want the cogs to be rotating the opposite direction. So we're just going to be patient and we're going to wait for the next one and jump. Yep. And then we're going to be able to go up, because if we had the cogs in the other rotation, we would not have been able to climb up here. Now what we want to do is we want to bring this trolley, just want to push it this way, let it sit in that direction, and we want to bring this little trolley that way, and we want to push this one again just to make sure it's going up. Now what we want to do is we want to time our switch pull just as the trolley's coming over to us so that we can swing back over here and grab this platform. There is a way to do that faster, but I have failed it multiple times and I don't want to risk it when I'm 43 minutes into my run. Honestly, if I get a sub 1 hour, I'm going to be happy. I don't think that's going to happen though. So with this one, this is probably the scariest part of the entire run. I haven't died here, but let's not jinx it. So there's a saw blade and you basically just want to jump over it. Oh man, that's always feels so close. So we're going to come up to this ledge over here, and what we want to do is we just want to push into it and we want to cause our minecart to fly backwards, and we ended up messing it up. We're just going to try that again. So we want the minecart to fly backwards, and the reason for that is because if it hits the button that's at the end, we could be electrocuted, and we do not want that. Now we're coming up to the hardest bit. I'm going to let myself get one chance at this, and if I end up messing it up, I'm going to do the normal way. Basically what you want to do, you want to wait for this light to flick for the 5th time. So this is the 5th time. Climb this ladder. Now on the 7th light switch, and when the boulder hits the wall, you want to jump over here, and I actually made it. Basically when the place is leaning a certain way, you are able to actually skip a portion of the ledge. So that is a very difficult skip to do, but I managed to do it, so I'm very happy about doing that. Now we're coming over to this machine gun section, and we're just going to get the machine gun to attack the other machine gun so that we can basically escape. Nice, so now the machine gun isn't aiming at that spot again. So now I can move through. Now here comes possibly my least favorite part of the entire run. I despise these boxes so much. But yeah, let's work with them anyway. So what we want to do is we want to push this box all the way up here, and then we want to come back down. There is a way to skip past this, but I'm really not sure how to do it. So I'm just going to do it the normal way, and I'm just going to try and do it as fast as possible. So we let this box come up all the way here. Wow, I managed it. So now we're going to climb up here, and we're going to come all the way back down and around to drop this ladder. So now what we're going to do is we're going to get that box from previous, and we're going to push it all the way up on the ledge, and then we're going to drop back down. Then we're going to come back up here. Perfect. And just like that, we're going to bring it over that way so that when it gets released by gravity again, we're going to be able to climb on top of it. So we're going to push this box all the way back down. Now this time we're going to put it about there because we should be able to get to the box by the time that one hits the button. So we're going to climb up here. So we just have to wait, and then we just have to go through like that. Perfect. Once again, there are faster ways to do this. However, I'm getting to the stage where I'm like 50 minutes in and I'm just sort of getting nervous, so I don't want to ruin this run. So we want to bring this switch down here, and we want to wait for the elevator. We want to climb up, and we just want to get our head pointed at by the laser so that the box comes down. I nearly got crushed by that. Did you see that? And we're going to bring our elevator down, and we're going to push the box up, and then we're going to join on the elevator, and we're going to bounce up over this spot because we need both boxes. So what we're going to do is we're going to use the power of gravity to bring this box over this way. Hopefully we get this first try, and perfect. So we're going to push the box over here because on the ceiling there's a little bit of a ramp spot. So basically what that does is that just brings it closer to us later. I ended up messing up just pulling down the box, so I'm just going to pull it down the normal way, and I'm going to push it over this side because we need the box to protect us from more lasers. As you can see here, makes it very safe. Now I can just avoid those lasers there if we just keep climbing, and we're going to invert gravity. So what we're going to do with this box here is we're going to bring it over to the side over here, and we just want it right there, just so when we climb up onto that container or that block, we have the ability to climb up to the box and then over to the next ledge. So we want to bring the second box over here because this was the one that we used the gravity on in the first place, and we want to bring it just to about where that rock is. Now as that block is coming out, I'm going to invert gravity and I'm going to climb up these boxes. So hopefully we have enough time. Perfect. Now I'm just going to drop down here. You can just drop down here. You won't break your ankles or anything. So that's perfect. Now here's going to be an interesting little puzzle because you need to turn on this switch to magnetize everything. Now you want to hold this button for a little bit and then you want to let go. Basically, the two containers that are here are on different height levels, so you want one magnetized and the other one to not be magnetized, and then you have the ability to go through. So now I'm going to count to 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and I'm going to come down here. Hopefully we have enough time to grab on. Oh no! So now we're going to come this way, and we're actually going to grab onto it this time. And we're going to bounce off it just now so we don't hit in the spikes, and we're going to slide down here. And now we're sideways. Also, did I mention that these change your controls? So, yeah, it feels really weird playing this. Oh, just made it. And now we have to hop down here. Oh, no. Oh, I seem to be fumbling a little bit. Okay, now we want to hop down here, and we want to grab onto this rope. And then we just want to hop down onto the O. And we're safe. Oh man, 2 deaths in that little spot there. That's very, very unlucky, but hopefully we can wrap up this last bit without any deaths because we are basically at the end. So we want to move this box all the way over here. Now, we won't have enough time to invert, so we're going to have to flick that lever again. We just want to push this box a little bit more, and now we're going to cross down. So now we're going to hit this switch over here. You're about to see the coolest glitch in the entire game. Basically how this works is I have to lean against this wall. I then flip over, and then I have to jump, then I have to crouch down, and then all of a sudden I'm just underneath the map. I have no idea how that works. And we have to climb over this way. Ooh, nearly hit the saw, but that's okay. Now we just have to wait. Unfortunately, I can't be talking for a lot of this because I have to listen out for the timing, so I'm just going to be silent. Oh! Unfortunately, I missed the timing on that, so I'm going to have to try again. Perfect. And And we're through. And we're going to pause timer just as we hit the glass. Bang. And that is a 53:26. Definitely could have been better overall. It was under an hour, which is what I was going for, but there were definitely a lot of silly deaths, especially towards the end there because I was just getting nervous. But that's what happens when you have these long speedruns. This game is so difficult to run. I've tried a bunch of these skips and I have not been successful like one time. But I do have to say, I do recommend playing this game casually. So we're going to come up to this spot here last, and don't worry, people stopped the time previously just because we're going through here. I'm just showing the ending. So my character comes up here and finally finds his sister. So he's going to walk up to her, say hi, and then that'll be credits. Wow, what a game. That was a painful one to go through. Make sure you subscribe. I'll see you in the next video.